scooted through for about 6 yards.
2nd and 5 from the 38-yard line. Quick hit, Andy 6. He's got a hole. He's got running room to the 45, to the 50. And he stumbles away to the 40 and down at the 35-yard line. Move the sticks for the Washington Demons. And a pickup of 23 yards.
Excellent run. Again, that interior blocking trap really opening up a hole for Andy 6, and Andy came close to breaking that. Excellent run, excellent play. Big pickup for the Demons.
35-yard line. Now they are in Mount Pleasant Panther territory. 1st and 10 for the Demons. And it will be to Kelly Williams on the inside handoff this time. Mount Pleasant sniffs him out at the 35-yard line. It was Marty Mertens, the lineman, the senior, 215 pounds, making the tackle.
Well, Mount Pleasant did a real nice job that time of staying home. By that, staying in their area and not going for the sweep with Chris. And he stayed home and really made a nice play defensively, bringing up 2nd and 10 for Washington.
Still marked at the 35-yard line. No score. 4:38 left first quarter. Adam Miller, the quarterback, getting the snap, looking to pass right side. And he launches this one out. It's going to be caught, it appears, at the 28-yard line. Making the catch. It looked like Danny Bump over there, and they're going to give him forward progress out to the 30-yard line. Boy, Mount Pleasant was right there on top of Bump, and I tell you what, the senior made a great catch.
That was a nice catch, nice throw. He had to thread it in there because there was a lot of good coverage by Mount Pleasant and a nice little route by Danny Bump again. Same route he had the first pass reception, just a little down and out.
He picked up 5 yards, so it's 3rd and 5. Up it goes to Andy 6. Gets caught at the line of scrimmage, tries to move forward, but he's going to be wrapped up by the interior lineman for a pickup of 2 yards on the play, and it looked like Jeff Anderson making the tackle, so another 4th down coming up from the 28-yard line.
We tried to hit the trap on the left side and didn't have much success that time, so it's going to bring up a 4th and about 4.
4th and 4, and you're in that position now. You don't think about a punt. Too long for a field goal. The Demons go for it. 4th and 4 from the 28-yard line. Pitch out Chris Jarvis looking for a hole. Skips by one man at the 25, and then he gets down at the 20-yard line. Enough for a Demon first down.
Oh, an excellent job on that left side of the offense against the Mount Pleasant defense. Really, Jens Nestigen, James Harris on that left side. I believe Alex 6 on that left end. Really, you could see that whole offensive line surge and find a nice hole for Chris Jarvis over the left side.
From the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 Demons. 3:09 left first quarter. The Demons trying to get on the scoreboard first. And here it goes. Adam Miller to Chris Jarvis, left side. Sweep it around. Noah comes out of the right side. Adam Miller hung onto it. He's got it to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Goes for the pylon, and he gets stopped at the 1-yard line. Oh, an excellent fake by Adam Miller. It looked like Chris Jarvis got the handoff there. He faked everybody, including us.
He made a heck of a move even after the fake. It looked like it was well defended. He kind of gave him a little dipsy-do move there, stepped inside and was able to get outside, and we thought he was going to be in the end zone, but really an outstanding play by Adam Miller coming out of that quarterback bootleg to the right side.
2:56 left in the first quarter from the 1-yard line. No surprise here. It's to Andy 6. And they're going to, no indication yet by the officials, so it looks like, yes, he's in there. Touchdown! A delayed call by the officials and give the Washington Demons a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, you kind of wonder what took them so long on that call, because the whole pile was definitely over the goal line, but again, 6-0, a good drive of about 68 yards by Washington, a couple big 4th down run, a couple key moves, tremendous effort by Adam Miller there. So,
and here's the kick, and it's going to be blocked at the line. Some good block coverage in there from Mount Pleasant. They are able to knock it away, but the Demons will take a 6-0 lead. And we'll be back in 1 minute. This is Demon Football on AM and FM KCII.
Mangold Jewelers would like to take this time to thank their loyal customers for their valuable friendship and extend an open invitation to area residents to stop and see their full line of fine jewelry and giftware. Mangold Jewelers offers friendly and knowledgeable service that you can't find anywhere else. Mangold is here to serve you, and they're here to stay. Mangold's Jewelers, distinctive selection and service on the east side of the square in Washington.
For a limited time only, when you buy an installed Designer Series replacement window from Pella Windows of Richland, you get a $50 rebate. And it doesn't end there. When you get an installed Designer Series patio door, you get $200 for a rebate. You'll love Pella's windows and doors, beautiful wood interiors, low-maintenance exteriors, energy efficiency, and easy clean features. Plus, Pella makes it easy to replace your old windows and doors with solutions for every budget, including expert installation. Pella's viewed to be the best. Pella Windows of Richland. See us in the yellow pages under Windows.
2:49 left in the first quarter. Andy Six's one-yard run will give the Demons a 6-0 lead. The kick, as we said, was blocked by Mount Pleasant. They definitely got in there to block the kick. They did a good job of just moving that offensive line back and getting in there to get a hand on the football. Demons will kick it off from the 40. Here comes... No, it's going to be from one of the other men. He's kicking it short, and it's just going to be hopped on at the 25-yard line by Matt Donnelly. One of the players next to Tony Kenny ended up kicking it. It may have been Jeremy Griner that actually kicked that one, trying to keep it away from the deep men.
Yeah, we weren't going to kick it deep and kick into that wind. Probably aren't going to get. It's not going to go far anyhow if you get it up in the air. So there went the sonic boom.
There's the cannon as the Demons scored the touchdown.
A little delayed action there.
Well, we had a delay call on the touchdown, so we might as well get it on this too. First and 10, Mount Pleasant down 6-0, 2:47 left in the first quarter. Right to left in front of us, Jesse Brammer from an offset I formation, and Brammer is going to give a delayed handoff to the tailback. Miller is going to be stuck back at the 30-yard line for a loss of one. The Demons in there once again. All kinds of Demons were out there. Alex Six with another big tackle, and Jake Hotchkiss, Adam Miller all covering up as well.
And Justin Saboski in there. 4 Demons right in the play. Again, those plays that Mount Pleasant are running, they take a little time. Miller's sitting about 7 yards deep in the backfield. The quarterback steps back to give him the ball, and Miller usually gets the ball when he's 4 or 5 yards deep in the backfield, and he likes to try to pick his hole. Well, so far there hasn't been anything to pick.
2nd and 11 from the 30-yard line from the left hash mark, and there's 2 receivers to the left side. A split back formation. Brammer looking to pass, and he's got a man, and it's going to be scooped up by Todd Miller. No, incomplete at the 36-yard line. Looked like he trapped it, but he picked it up. Good coverage there. John Griner of the Demons, and Danny Bump there as well.
Well, good coverage, good pressure. Alex Six coming up from the right side, I think forced Brammer to throw that ball a little faster than what he really wanted to, and forced him to kind of short hop that ball, and bringing up a 3rd down and long yardage. So definitely a passing situation. Probably look for some type of a screen here.
6-0, Washington Demons. 1:57 left to go in the first quarter from the split back formation. Split end to the right, split end to the left side. Jesse Brammer getting the snap, looking back. Blitz is on, but they pick up the blitz, and this one is going to be complete. A screen pass, but Donnelly is going to be swallowed up after a pickup of 3 yards. It was Alex Six that caught up to him from the backside.
Well, they were in their split back formation, and that's traditionally been their screen formation over the years. And I'll tell you, Alex Six made a tremendous play on that. They had the screen set up. He caught that from behind. There again, talk about speed. Speed was the difference on that play.
Well, as you said, you can't beat speed. Twin safeties back for the Demons at the 32-yard line. Malloy ready to field this one at the 21-yard line. He gets the snap. This one is a high booming kick. Boy, he really launched that one. Here's Kelly Williams who retrieves it, but then he lost it, and Jarvis is going to pick it up at the 15. Then he jukes one man, tries to stumble past another at the 20, and then covered up at the 24-yard line. This time it's going to be Devin Rogers making the tackle.
Oh, that was quite a punt. That thing, that was in the air. Of course, he had the wind to his back. Mount Pleasant player down. Looks like, I think it's Joey Roberts, or I think it's 62. Yes,
yep.
It is.
62, Joey Roberts, and he is a starting linebacker.
Looks like an ankle.
So far we've seen a stoppage in play for a couple of Demons. Jimmy Fulcher, or a couple of players, I should say. Jimmy Fulcher of the Demons and Joey Roberts now a Mount Pleasant. So the trainers right now coming out there.
Well, I know they're still working on Jimmy Fulcher here on the side, on the bench. I don't think we'll see Jimmy probably play tonight. And now let's see what happens to Mount Player's player. But that was quite a punt. He got it up in the air, and a little jet stream kind of carried that punt a long way, and Washington this time is going to start from about their own 24, 25-yard line.
With a minute 09 left in the first quarter, things are moving along.
Well, and again, so far, I don't think the fans have been disappointed. We've seen 2 drives by Washington. The first one, questionable call on fourth down as far as the placement. We thought that Washington definitely had the first down, and then so far we've done an outstanding job defensively containing Miller, forcing Mount Pleasant to pass, and then we're doing the things like Coach Cisco said. The key, what he wanted to do is everybody play well, and so far we're seeing a well-performed procedure by the Washington Demons.
Also, the 9th grade team got a victory tonight, 13-6, and good fans out to see that one. As we said, we're expecting when the numbers come in, I don't know, or close to 5,000. I mean, they're bunched up all the way around the end zone. The bleachers, of course, are packed on both ends of the football field. Player comes off the field, 1st and 10, Washington Demons, 25-yard line, sweep it left side, and it's going to be Chris Jarvis, jukes the man at the line of scrimmage, and then one of the linemen come back and make the tackle across the 30 and down 33-yard line, but he picked up 8 yards, and Chris Jarvis is that way, kind of a Barry Sanders-esque type of way of cutting back.
Ran that sweep. Andy Six really had a nice block out there. It looked like they were going to seal that play, and Andy got the block, and Chris cut back and then cut it back to Grain and was one man away from breaking a long one.
2nd and 1 for the Demons from the 34-yard line. Try the inside reverse again, and it's Kelly Williams. Extra effort may have gotten him the first down at the 37-yard line. Boy, he was down to just his hand there, and he crawled away before his knee touched the ground at the 35, and that a little extra effort gave him an extra 2 yards, which will move the chains.
Well, you can see Washington's really executing. Coach Cisco mentioned the practice and how well these guys have worked, and they're doing everything that the coaches have asked, and so far we're seeing an outstanding performance by the offensive line and the total offense.
1st and 10 now from the 38-yard line. Chris Jarvis sweeping it out on the left side. Get a hit at the line of scrimmage. Ball appears to be fumbled. Scramble, it looked like, and the Demons... well, let's see. No, they're going to give it to Mount Pleasant at the 40-yard line. He got hit as he fell down, it appears. Not quite sure who picked it up. But it's going to be Panther football at the Demon 40-yard line.
Well, I spoke too soon. I mentioned how we were driving from up here. It looked like maybe he was down, but evidently the officials didn't think so. So big break. Here's the first major break. See what Mount Pleasant does and see what our defense does.
Demons up 6-0. Just over 13 seconds left until the end of the first quarter out of the I formation in the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Right hash mark. Brammer gives it to the tailback. Todd Miller up the middle. He goes to the 35 and then shoved down at the 33-yard line. Biggest gain of the night so far for Todd Miller.
Well, he hits that hole fast. There's no doubt he has quick feet, and he has tremendous peripheral vision, and he's an outstanding running back, and picked up about 7 yards. I know talking to some of the Fairfield people that one thing about Miller, he just 7-8 yards you to death, and we'll see. That's really, though, the first successful run he's had.
6-0. The Demons lead it, and we have played 1 quarter of football. The second quarter is coming up, and we'll be back in 1 minute. This is Washington Demon football on AM and FM KCII.
Teamwork is the main ingredient of high school football success, and the same can be said about the teamwork of Westchester Savings Bank. Auto, real estate, personal loans, checking, savings, and IRA accounts show how Westchester Savings Bank can score big for you. As a long-sustained scoring drive pays dividends in the end zone, so it goes with the team of Westchester Savings Bank. They'll score big points for you. Check them out, the Westchester Savings Bank in Washington. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. The perfect birthday is hard to plan, so take the hassle out of planning one by calling Hoodwink's Melody Lanes in Washington. You won't even have to clean up afterwards. All you have to do is call Hoodwink's for a reservation. It's that easy. For $5.50 a child, they get an hour of bowling and drink plus pizza or chicken strips, and the birthday person gets a free shirt. If you don't have the time to plan and don't want all the mess of a birthday party, call Hoodwink's Melody Lanes in Washington. They take the hassle out for you.
Here comes Mount Pleasant with a 2nd and 2 from the Demon 32-yard line to start the second quarter of football. Grammer gives it to the tailback, Todd Miller. Swallowed up by Saboski as he crosses the 30-yard line, but that should be enough for a Mount Pleasant Panther first down.
Well, Mount Pleasant, pretty much their standard I formation. They put a slot to the right, a split end to the right, wingback sitting outside the tackle, and then a tight end, and a fullback and a tailback, and fullback leads, and basic give it to that tailback, and they have an excellent tailback. There's no doubt about that.
They're going to measure for it, and once again, as I said, I thought he had enough for the first down, but they're being pretty specific on forward progress and where the knee touches down.
Evidently, they're definitely not favoring one team over the other.
First down, he just barely had it by a couple of inches.
Boy, from up here, we thought he had it by a yard or two.
Just want to get the chain gain in motion, I guess.
I'll give him a little TV time.
You betcha. Of course, we got TV cameras. I counted about 4 from the sidelines here. Plenty of other press in preparation. Of course, we're here every week. From the 30-yard line, it'll be next to the right hash mark in Demon territory. Demons are up 6-0 here in the second quarter. 11:37 left. Clock running in the second stanza. Out of the I formation, Jeff Anderson goes in motion left and right. Give it to the tailback, Miller. Miller looking for a hole, and he found one. Breaks it at the 20. Now he tries to take it toward the outside of the 10 to the 5, and he goes in for a Mount Pleasant Panther touchdown. A piece of work there for the Mount Pleasant Panthers. Todd Miller, and a 30-yard score for the Panthers.
Well, they were in a split end right, tight end left. Wingback was at the tight end side, came in motion back to the right side. Quarterback turned back and handed it to Miller, who was going over the left side of the offensive line. Got through the hole and made a cut back and ended up going into the right side of the corner of the end zone. Really an outstanding run, and a chance for Mount Pleasant to go up here.
And here is the point after, and it is up and on the way, and good for Marty Mertens, and Mount Pleasant will gain a 7-6 lead over the Demons with 11:23 left to go here in the second quarter of football. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Mount Pleasant 7 and Washington 6. This is Demon Football on KCII.
October is National Pork Month, a time to recognize pork producers for their wholesome, nutritious contribution to the nation's food supply. Crawfordsville Feed and Grain and Kent Feed stand ready to help independent producers stay competitive with feeds and feeding programs. See Crawfordsville Feed and Grain for feeds like Kent Flavorized 20% Pig Nuggets, the nation's leading pig starter, or Kent Extra Lean Grower Finisher Supplements. Crawfordsville Feed and Grain, saluting pork producers and the pork industry. Call them at 888-848-3188.
Brian Schlater, Chuck Henry back here at Case Field in Washington. Steph Mickelson, our in-studio producer. The Panthers take advantage of a Demon turnover, and a 40-yard drive capped off by a 30-yard Todd Miller score will give them a lead.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they go ahead and try to kick to our deep men.
Marty Mertens approaches, end over end kick. Kelly Williams waits, and he'll get it at the 5-yard line, up the middle to the 20, looking for a hole, and he's going to be sandwiched down at the 26-yard line. Matt Donnelly helping with the tackle there. And Mount Pleasant now, the team that's pumped up.
Well, momentum, a big factor. We had momentum, the fumble, and giving Mount Pleasant, they took advantage of that. And now a sign of a good team, an excellent team, is how they respond. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure we'll come back and make a nice drive here.
Demons come up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10, 25-yard line. And this is going to be right up the middle, and nothing doing over there. May have been the inside handoff here. Let's see, Andy Six is going to come back up, so it was just a handoff to Andy Six, and no gain for the Demons.
Well, we tried that inside trap to the right side, and not much at all. And Mount Pleasant made some adjustments, it looks like, as far as the inside trapping game.
So here we go, and a 2nd down and 10 coming up. 11:08 left, second quarter. Mount Pleasant leads at 7-6. And here we go with the sweep to Chris Jarvis, left side. He's got a hole to the 25 and a wall of blockers. He's to the 40, cuts back to the inside of the 45, 50, and he stumbles forward and down to the 42-yard line. Tackle finally going to be made by Nick McTee of the Mount Pleasant Panthers, but a big gain, and the Demons needed that to kind of get some momentum in their favor.
Well, he had a wall of blockers out here. He was escorted, and when he turned on the afterburners, it looked like he might have a shot at breaking it all the way, but good pursuit by Mount Pleasant. But that was a nice play. Really got us out of the hole, and now we're in the Mount Pleasant territory.
7-6 Mount Pleasant, 10:48 left, second quarter from the 42-yard line. Pitch out Kelly Williams, sweeping it out to the right side. He's got some blockings. And out to the 35 to the 33-yard line. He'll pick up 8 yards. And, Chuck, you could really see that one started to take form once again, the offensive lineman on the right side. And let's see who got up there on the right side. It looks like one of the linemen. Not quite sure who it's going to be. Jared Longbine is
could be
checking into the football game, so it could be red. Now he's down at the 38-yard line, right where that play started to take form there.
Well, we ran that sweep. He's getting up. Yeah, Jared. I think he's just. He probably just got the wind knocked out of him there. He looks like he's going to be fine.
Yeah, you want to keep Red back in the football game a little bit later on, and.
Well, that was a nice play. You know, first down, picked up 8 yards on the sweep. Same play with that Chris Jarvis ran to the left side. We just came back with the same play to the right side. Get the 2 linemen out, the fullback and quarterback leading, and seal everything down. That's the key. When we get that right side with the tight end and the right side tackle, if they can seal down and then get those other guys out there, why, you get a nice wall and big yardage.
And from the 34-yard line, second down for the Demons. It's Chris Jarvis sweeping left side, cuts back in, 30-yard line to the 25, puts his head down as it crosses the 20 and upended at the 17-yard line. Matt Malloy coming out to make the tackle. Jarvis tried to put a shoulder pad on him, so the Demons are going to have another first down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, again, a nice job of blocking, sealing down, and finding the seam. Andy Six leading that from that fullback. He really does a nice job of leading that blocking.
From the 18-yard line, and Adam Miller will give a handoff to Chris Jarvis, short side of the field. Not going to get a lot of real estate here, and he'll get stopped at the 18-yard line. Kind of interesting the Demons would try the short side of the field here with the kind of power and the big lineman there from Mount Pleasant, but nonetheless, that it's going to be no gain for the Demons.
Yeah, we tried to come with the sweep to the short side. Again, that time Mount Pleasant was able to contain it, and we were not able to pick up. Well, looks like no gain, 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line in Panther territory. Out of the double wing. Pitch out to Chris Jarvis. Nothing in the left side, so he's just going to duck his head down and go up across the middle of the field, across the 15 to the 14-yard line. A modest pickup of 4 yards for the Demons. They'll be about 6 yards short of a first down.
There goes. Again, we're trying to, that time we're trying to cut it inside more or less. It looks like it's going to be that wide sweep, but we try to kick out and find the seam inside, depending on what the call and the line calls there as far as whether they're going inside or outside.
3rd and 7 from the 14-yard line. They'll try the inside handoff. It's Kelly Williams. Jukes a man, breaks it across the 10, and then down to the 7-yard line. Very close to a Demon first down. I believe he got it from here.
Well, that was a nice move by Kelly. Ran that inside handoff, handed off to Chris Jarvis, and Kelly comes back on that inside and really did a nice job in picking up the first down, making it goal on the 5.
They are going to mark it at the 5, so that'll be a first down and goal to go for Washington. Ball placed at the center of the field. They trail by 1 point with 8:20 left in the second quarter. Pitch out going to Chris Jarvis. Sweeping left side, looking for a hole. He's got a hole, and he's in there. Demon touchdown. 5-yard score, Chris Jarvis. Oh, he just needed a couple of blocks, and that was it.
Well, again, excellent offensive line play. Good lead blocks by the other backs, and really a nice drive. I said good team, how they respond. We came back and responded quite well on what was that, about a 75-yard drive?
Yep.
And really nice bit of running, nice bit of execution by Adam Miller from that quarterback spot, and tremendous job by that offensive line.
Demons are going to go for 2. And Miller looking back to pass, pumps once. He's got Andy Six, and he's in there for the 2-point conversion.
Okay, Adam Miller just got a little roll to the right. Andy got out in the flat, was able to catch it right on the goal line, tackled, was able to take it into for the 2-point, putting us up 14-7.
So the Demons lead it 14-7 with 8:14 left in the second, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Demon football on KCII.
Vans, 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 and more vans. Enjoy room and comfort with a van from Purdock Incorporated, your GM dealer in Washington. Get a 96 Pontiac Transport SE van with a V6 and only one owner for just $13,995. Or a 95 Oldsmobile Silhouette van with only one owner and 51,000 miles. Enjoy room, comfort, and convenience with a van from Purdock Incorporated, your GM dealer serving Southeast Iowa for 45 years.
Purdock Incorporated, downtown Washington, Iowa.
In football, the emphasis is put on teamwork and scoring points to win the game. Super 8 of Washington works on the same line. Their hard-working staff works as a team to make sure your stay is a very pleasant one, and they will do their best to have you coming back again and again. It's those disciplines that make a successful football team and also a successful business team. Super 8 in Washington, with the right teamwork to make this fall season a pleasant one. Call Denise at 653-6621 for your reservations. That's 653-6621. Super 8 in Washington.
Tony Canny and Jeremy Griner both approach this one. Griner's going to squib it up the middle, and one of the up men gets it at the 35-yard line. He actually got a couple of blocks, and they swallow him up at the 43-yard line, so they're going to get extra good field position here. Todd Miller, once again, is one of the backmen back there, and Chad Scarf, they're keeping away from him because he's certainly capable of bringing it back 90-plus yards or whatever, so the Demons will be satisfied, I guess, giving up some decent field position.
Well, this is excellent field position for Mount Pleasant to starting on their own 44-yard line. We'll see how our defense reacts now. We have the momentum.
So the Panthers got it, and they are out of the I formation. Brammer hits the tailback. Todd Miller hit at the line of scrimmage, stays on his feet, breaks another tackle, spins forward. He'll pick up 11 yards out of the 45-yard line in Demon territory, and that'll be enough for a Mount Pleasant Panther first down.
Well, that was their off-tackle play. Again, they're in that I formation, what we call a pro set with a tight end, flanker, and split end, and just stand, nothing fancy, just reaches back. A good offensive line play that time by Mount Pleasant.
Timeout going to be taken here by, it appears, Mount Pleasant. I didn't quite get the indication. Or did Washington do it?
Timeout.
So Washington will take the timeout. Chuck, we've been talking about this game, as we said, a little bit here and there throughout the last couple of weeks. In your coaching career or broadcast career, any other games kind of stand out in your mind similar to this?
Well, there's been some big games, but never as big as this, as far as just the fact the rankings and all the exposure from the media, Radio Iowa, the fact that we're having a number 2 playing a number 3, and from that standpoint, this is probably the biggest game, just from the attention that we're getting. As far as the biggest game we had against Washington, as far as successful, or that Washington had against Mount Pleasant, I should say, is the fact that when we lost in the regular season, we were able to beat Mount Pleasant back in 90 in the playoffs. So, but it's just we're seeing tonight, and we're not being disappointed, 2 good football teams. This is what we were hoping for.
Yeah, you betcha. This has been fun for a change. And split out left and right. I formation from Mount Pleasant at the 45-yard line in Demon territory. Brammer, straight drop back, looking to pass. Being rushed. He's going to set up a little miniature screen to Donnelly. He's got it to 50, to the 45, 40. Trying to break a tackle, and he does. Down to the 35, and then shoved out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Well, Matt Donnelly came out of there, and nobody was open deep, so he hit one of the end men. He gets limps off the field, but it looks like he's going to be all right. And a big pickup for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, that was that. Actually, it was, he wanted to get rid of it sooner. It was that fullback screen out to the right, and he still was able to get it out here, and it looked like might not pick up as much yardage, but he showed a little more speed than what we thought, and was able to get around the corner and picked up about, 15 yards?
So a 1st and 10 for Mount Pleasant. 14-7, the Demons lead it. 7:52 left in the second from the Demon 31-yard line. The wingback, Jeff Anderson, goes in motion left to the right side and out of the I formation. Look like some illegal motion. No call. Brammer rolling out on the left side. And he's got it. He's got it to Rogers. Rogers out in the clear. Breaks the tackle out at the 15-yard line. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds near the 10-yard line.
He faked the handoff to Miller and then kind of semi-rolled out to the left. Big tight end coming across the middle was wide open on a crossing pattern. And a lot of time to throw. That was, you could see that play really developing from up here, and really, I thought we'd have more pressure on the quarterback. You have to give credit to Mount Pleasant's offensive line as far as protection.
Malloy's lined up all the way to the left side, and here's Chad Scarf back a couple of yards deep over in the very far right split end position, out of the I formation. And they run a handoff to Todd Miller, and he's going to be upended over at the 7-yard line. And boy, he was in a full head of steam there on the right side, but the Demons come up and make the tackle. Maybe Andy Six was there to make a hit, and Crancy as well.
No, that was to the right side there. They attacked the right side. They like to give that ball deep to Miller, 5 yards deep, and pretty much let him pick his hole. Doesn't matter which side they give it to him. He's just he'll either cut back, straight ahead, off to the right. He's got some good moves, and we have to make sure you contain him all the time.
Wing back to the right and split out of the left side. Actually, wing back on the left side as well. Out of the I formation, Brammer hits Miller again. Miller stumbles his way forward. This time, Saboski will swallow him up just short of the goal line at about the 3-yard line.
Well, there it looked like we were going to get him right on the line of scrimmage, and he's able to slide through there, and what looked like was going to be a no gain picked up 4 yards, and third and 2 here.
6:35 in the second quarter. Clock continues to run. Demons up by a 14-7 margin. Receiver to the right. Tight end left side, wing back right side. I formation, Brammer with a long count. 3rd down. And to Miller, goes up the middle. He's into the end zone for a Mount Pleasant touchdown. That time just went off tackle there, it appeared.
Well, you're not really sure where he's going to go. He gets the ball deep, but he hits that hole with such a. Not only does he hit the hole so fast with a head of street, but he's also so elusive. He's able to slice, cut, and we're seeing, Mount Pleasant answered. Now it'll be Washington's turn to answer. So far, it's definitely been an offensive display of 2 fine football teams.
The clear will hold, and the kick is up and on the way, and it is going to be good. Marty Mertens kicks it through the uprights, and we're tied up at 14-14 with 6:12 remaining in the second quarter. We'll be back with more Demon football right after this 30-second timeout. This is Demon football on KCII.
We finally decided to start our big home improvement project. We thought we had every detail in place, but we forgot about one thing. Who's going to pick up the refuse? Whoa, hey, that was close. Watch out. Then someone told us about Mark's Sanitation. They're fast, reliable, courteous. Mark's Sanitation offers daily pickup in town and also available for one-time cleanups. Contractors are always welcome to call for quotes on construction jobs, building debris, and remodeling jobs. Mark's Sanitation of Washington, serving southeast Iowa since 1983. For more information, call 653-2463.
Chris Jarvis and Kelly Williams stand back at the 5-yard line for the Demons as Marty Mertens is going to kick this one. Mount Pleasant's been kicking it pretty deep. The Demons have been squib kicking it.
Oh, it'd be nice to break one.
End over end kick. Kelly Williams will charge this one, pick it up at the 15-yard line. Looks up the middle, and he broke a tackle out to the 35 to the 36-yard line. Found an opening there, and once again, it looked like Chuck Henry is going to jump out of the press box and throw a block there for Kelly Williams.
And he's going to break one, and looked like he found a little seam, but was just able to be tripped up. Nothing fancy about that return. We're just going to try to get behind the wedge. Kelly gets behind the wedge and tries to go up the middle and find the seam, and came close to breaking it. But we're still going to start out on about our own 36-yard line, which that's not bad field position, especially if you can pick up 10, 15 on first down.
So here come the Demons from their own 35-yard line out of the double wing. Fumble down to the ground. The ball is loose. Scramble at the 35-yard line. It looks like the Panthers have got it. And there's still a pileup. No, the Demons got it. Yeah, second down. Ooh. One of the Panthers, or one of the officials, it looked like, pointed it in the other direction, but they just held up the second down thing. That would have been a big blow for the Demons.
That looked like Adam just kind of pulled out a little fast there, and a little mix-up between Adam Miller and Steve Stewart. So brings up 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 for the Demons. Tied up at 14. 5:49 left, second quarter. Up the middle we go to Andy Six. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage. No gain there. Good interior play there by Messer Campbell McTee. All making some big hits there. Also, I think Josh Wilson made a pretty good tackle on the inside.
Well, they bottled that inside game. Looks like they slid to... every once in a while, Mount Pleasant's nose and strong side tackle there is just trying to slide one way or the other, and they might have guessed right that time.
3rd down and 11 from the 35-yard line. And they're going to go to Andy Six again. Hops over one man, hops over another, but he's going to be through hopping after Mount Pleasant wraps him up at the 37-yard line. So Mount Pleasant with a good defensive stand, and the punting unit comes on.
Well, you can kind of get an idea of the guessing game that's going on between both coaches. I think Coach Cisco probably thought they're really going to try to protect the outside. We just didn't have much success 2 plays, and I think he thought he might be able to get that inside trap, but Mount Pleasant played it well.
Scarf and Miller back deep, and Adam Miller, the Demons, is back at the 25-yard line. The Demons are in a regular punt formation. We don't see a lot of this. Snap isn't too bad, and here's a kick by Adam Miller, and not too bad. One off to the 25-yard line, and Scarf gets a nice block, but John Greiner is going to pick him up at the 32-yard line. So after a 7-yard return for the Panthers, they'll get the football at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice punt by Washington, and nice coverage downfield. I think we got there's a penalty on the play. It said procedure. I think we're...
Mount Pleasant, or was it on Washington? I didn't see a flag out there.
Well, he kind of showed procedure, so it looks like it's on the punting team. I think we're going to have to re-punt it.
Well, they were talking about Pleasant, so maybe they were just figuring out.
No, we're going to bring it back and re-punt it.
What's the option on that play? Can they nullify the penalty, or...
Well, they wouldn't be able to... They're going to want to force us to punt it again and try for the run back.
So the punting dudes come back on out. Brings up a 4th and 14. Doesn't matter either way. The Demons will kick this one from their own 30-yard line. That is where the line of scrimmage is going to be. Now Washington is missing a player, it appears. And it's James Harris who is talking to the coaching staff, and now he is running out on the field. The Demons got to be careful. They're going to get to delay a game, and Harris sets up. Now the Demons get ready to play. And here we go, and it's Miller getting the snap. He kicks this one. This one's a little wobblier. And Scarf will pick it up at the 31-yard line. This time he goes parallel. Almost gets wrapped up. Almost gets his head taken off, and the Demons stick him at the 31-yard line. Alex Six probably going to get credited for the tackle, but a couple of players were down there, so the extra kick really didn't do that much good.
Well, if he'd have gone straight ahead, but he caught the ball on the left hash, and Mount Pleasant had a return on the right hash, and so he tried to get over here to the right hash, and good coverage downfield by Washington. He ran about 20 yards and did not gain anything. He ran from the hash mark to the hash mark.
He was looking for a wall, no question. You could see that. 14-14, 3:53 left until halftime. We've definitely had ourselves a football game. Out of the I formation will come Jesse Brammer, who awaits the snap. After a long count, pitch out to Todd Miller, left side, looking for a hole. Nothing in the inside. Tries to go around to the outside, and that's bad news as Adam Miller is going to wrap him up at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, Adam came up and really made a nice tackle, open field tackle. Todd started like he was going to go off right tackle or left tackle and then tried to dip to the outside. And Adam from his cornerback spot came up and really executed well in the open field there. No gain.
2nd and 10, 31-yard line, 3:22 left in the second. And what do the Panthers do on this play? Wingback comes in motion left to the right side. And now Brammer, option now to Todd Miller. He'll get it, cuts back. Adam Miller wraps him up, and Saboski gets him at the 30-yard line. No gain. This time, the first time that we would see the option here tonight.
Yeah, and it looked like we might have caused a lot of problems on that option, and I don't think we'll see him come back again with that option. That wasn't very smoothly done, and we defended it quite well, and very close to causing a turnover there.
Right hash mark, passing situation here. 2 receivers to the left side. And a wing back to the left side as well. Only one setback is Todd Miller. And Brammer looking back to pass. He's got some time. Pumps once. He airs this one out. He's going long. And this one is going to be tipped away and incomplete at the 34-yard line. A little bit of incidental contact that didn't make any difference at all. That was well defended by the Washington Demons, Jake Quinn.
Yeah, excellent coverage back there. Jake and Kelly both covering deep and forcing fourth down. Again, a lot of time for Brammer to throw the ball, and he does have a rifle. He can throw the ball. That was directly into the wind, and that ball was in the air 35 yards, close to 40 yards.
Matt Malloy is back in his punting area. The line of scrimmage is the 30, kind of a low snap. Malloy will step into this one. Gets off a high kick. Kelly Williams calls for the fair catch, and he receives it at the 34-yard line. Of course, Chad Scarf was breathing down his neck there, so a good call for Kelly Williams there.
Yeah, good call. You want him to make sure he catches it rather than let it hit. So come up and call that fair catch. So many times you see a return man will not come up and catch the ball, and the ball hits and rolls another 15, 20 yards. So that was a nice job, good judgment by Kelly to get the ball, field it, and give us first down on our own 34-yard line.
Tied up at 14, 2:16 is the time in the second quarter. Double wing formation from the right hash mark. Pitch out to Chris Jarvis. Jarvis looking for a block, and he dodges one guy and then tries to cut back at the 30-yard line. He'll lose 4 yards. Mount Pleasant read that pretty good. Nick McTee made a tackle there, and
Mount Pleasant really strung that out. We tried to pitch to the left side, and there just really wasn't any running room in Mount Pleasant. With minute 56, they're probably, since we lost 6 yards, 5 yards, they're going to try to stop the clock and hope they get the ball back, and we're just going to have to make sure we pick up the first down and not let Mount Pleasant have the ball back this half.
Even in a game like this, that's a strategy you'd have. But as we said, both teams are so explosive that you could pin the Demons down, and one play could bring them back into some pretty good real estate. Oh,
no doubt about it. We've seen us through this time. It looks like third, where it looks like we're in trouble, and boom, we explode with some type. One of our backs breaking a tackle and picking up a big gain. So this is what we're going to need: a big. Couple big plays here just to get us the first down and use out the clock, and who knows, maybe break one and get a score. If we could get a score right here before half, that'd be a big momentum booster going into halftime and leading into the second half.
Of course, coming up at halftime, we are going to bring on the band. We are going to listen to their concert here on KCII. We said early on the year we wanted to give all the listeners that don't get a chance to go to the game to listen to this fine marching band, one of the best in Class 3A as far as the band concerned as well. Up the middle we go to Andy Six, not going to get anything. Well, actually, he actually covered his way up there out to the 35 to the 37-yard line. He's actually going to pick up a couple more yards. I was looking at the wrong player as he just kind of squirmed his way forward for maybe 7 yards.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant took another timeout, third down and about 7, so 6 yards. So if we can get the first down and not have to punt, who knows, maybe we can...
Then the clock kind of comes in the Demons' favor more than for Mount Pleasant's advantage. So we'll see how this strategy works out. Ball will be spotted at their own 38-yard line with Washington possession, 14-14. Andy, 6 a 1-yard run, a 5-yard run for Chris Jarvis, and it's been Todd Miller for Mount Pleasant, a 30-yard run and a 3-yard run, both on a couple of drives. Mount Pleasant took advantage of one Demon turnover to get into the end zone.
Now you can hear the crowd kind of getting into it now. 3rd down and 5. If we can get a first down here, who knows, maybe we can take that in and pick up a little more and get one in before the halftime.
3rd and 7 from the 38-yard line. They'll do the inside handoff to Kelly Williams. He's got a hold of the 45 and to the 50-yard line. And that is going to be enough to move the chains. No penalty markers down. And once again, the handoff to Chris Jarvis and then over to Kelly Williams. And the Demons got a first down at midfield with 1:41 left.
Now we're going to take the timeout. Now that we got the first down, now the strategy's on the other side. Now we're going to put the pressure on Mount Pleasant. We're going to try to use something here and get it into the end zone. And like you said, as explosive as we are, anything's capable. That was a little razzle-dazzle play. It was a quick inside handoff to Kelly Williams coming around, and we weren't. I thought for a minute we weren't set for the full count because we really exploded off that ball, but no flags and picked up about 14 yards for first down. So, as we said. You know, any one of our backs is capable of making a big play, and if we get some good line surge and a couple key blocks, why we still have enough time to take it into the end zone. Minute 41's a lot of time.
And each team one timeout, I believe. There's a Washington.
I think that's all we have is one timeout left.
And Mount Pleasant as well. They took one early on, or a couple, I should say, here. So at midfield, here come the Washington Demons, tied up at 14. Pitch out Kelly Williams, looking for the hold of the right side. He's just going to go up the middle and down to the 47-yard line. Clock continues to roll with the 1:34. There is still plenty of time here. And Jake Quinn runs in the play for the Demons. Danny Bump comes out. A similar rotation for the Demons. They switch off on that tight end position. Alex Six, of course, always stays in for the tight end. 2nd and 7 from the 47-yard line. This time it's going to be the inside handoff to Chris Jarvis. Breaks the tackle at the 45, gets to the outside. He's to the 35, then cuts back in across the 30, and he's going to be down at the 27-yard line. That'll stop the clock to move the chains with 1:05 left.
A lot of time. There, they picked up 23 yards just on that inside reverse. Handoff, Adam pitches back to Kelly, and Kelly gives that inside handoff to Chris, and Chris with his quickness and elusiveness, why he's able to pick up some yardage fast.
1st and 10 for the 27-yard line. The officials mark the ball in play, and it's Kelly Williams looking for a hole to the right side, looking for a block, and he gets one to the 25, to the 20. Or just short of the 20, I should say, at the 22-yard line. Got a couple of yards on that. One of the Demons will burn their last time out with 53 ticks of the clock left in the second quarter. So here we go with Coach Cisco huddling up the team here.
Well, now it's not so much a question of time. It's a question of what plays. Since we're out of timeouts, we can't just run 7-8 yard pickups. We're going to have have a couple break one or two because we're only without any timeouts. The clock will stop temporarily if we pick up the first down, but once the chain's set, the clock starts again. So it's imperative that we break one of these runs.
There's Coach Jensen huddles up his team out on the field. Washington's Coach Cisco always has the team huddle up toward the sideline, kind of away from the sideline, but over by the numerals. So it's 2nd and 6, 22-yard line. The Demons in Mount Pleasant territory, but only 53.2 seconds left. Mount Pleasant has one timeout, Washington with none. Demons hoping to get a lead here, as we have probably 5,000 fans possibly here at Case Field. Difficult to say, but we'll say that. It sounds pretty good.
Sounds good. 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 20,000.
There you go. Bernard and Kinnick from the 22-yard line. And it's Jarvis looking to pass. He drops back. He airs this one out long and overthrows his man. Kelly Williams incomplete at the 5-yard line. Looks like maybe he just threw that one away.
Well, it
Williams
was well
picked
covered.
Up.
Well covered. We tried the option to the left. Chris Jarvis receives the pitch from Adam Miller, rolls to his left as if he's going to sweep, gets a little deeper and tries to find Kelly Williams down about 20, 25 yards, but Kelly was well covered and just had to throw that away.
47.6 seconds left. 3rd and 6 from the 22-yard line. Maybe the Demons will just try and run it to get the first down, and they could always spike it. We'll just see here. And here we go, the inside handoff again, and it's Chris Jarvis trying to struggle forward to the 20-yard line. He's going to be a couple of yards short of a first down as the clock continues to move here with 38 seconds left. And no timeout, so the Demons got to hurry up here on this 4th down play. Maybe they'll try a crack in the end zone here. Demon fans on their feet as they see the clock moving away, 23 seconds left. And here we go, and it's Chris Jarvis looking to the left side. Got a hold to the 20, to the 15, puts his head down to the 5, stumbles forward. Jarvis is going to be stopped at the 1-yard line with 9 seconds left.
No,
that is going to be enough to move the chains. He's at the 5-yard line. Well, I tell you, that crowd huddled up there. It's tough to see. And they're going to mark it, at the 4-yard line. With 9 seconds, the Demons probably come to the line and just spike it. And he will. Adam Miller will spike the football. Boy, Jarvis made a great effort there nonetheless on the sweep. Wrap it around to the 10, and they'll mark him down at the 5-yard line. So the Demons, with 8.3 seconds left on the 5-yard line.
Well, we have one of two choices. We can try to run it and get it in on one play, or throw it, and if nobody open, throw it away. So
there might be a chance for another play that way. And here we go from the 5-yard line, tied up at 14. 8 seconds left to go. The Demons run a man in motion. Here's Adam Miller looking toward the end zone. Ball is tipped around, and it's going to be picked off by Mount Pleasant, and a touchback. He threw it toward the middle, intended for Chris Jarvis. An interception with 2.5 seconds left, so the Demons won't even get a chance to run another play. Not quite sure who picked off the pass in the end zone. Looked like possibly Nick Carter, but not quite sure about that one. Nonetheless, a big defensive play for Mount Pleasant. So we'll see what the Panthers do from their own 20-yard line. Probably just a run to Todd Miller and see what he can do with it. And they run it to Todd Miller, looking out to the left side, looking for a hole, and he's got a hole to the 30-yard line. And then he gets upended at the 35-yard line. So the Demons kind of spread it out, which is almost sometimes dangerous to do with Todd Miller. But nonetheless, we have got ourselves a halftime score of 14-14. Well, Chuck, let's wrap up the scoring here. And first of all, it was the Washington Demons' Andy Six getting on the scoreboard first with a 1-yard run with 2:49 left in the first. The kick was blocked. That made it 6-0. And after a Demons fumble from their 40-yard line, a 40-yard drive would be capped off with Todd Miller's 30-yard run with 11:27 left in the first quarter. And their kick was good, made it 7-6. So the Demons had a 75-yard drive of their own, 8:14 left in the second, a 5-yard run for Chris Jarvis. Andy Six had a catch from Adam Miller to make it the 2-point conversion. That made it 14-7. Then Todd Miller capped off a Mount Pleasant drive with a 3-yard run of his own with 6:12 left in the second, made it 14-14. And now Mount Pleasant just stops the Demons there with an interception in the end zone, and we're tied up at 14. Of course, we'll have some stats coming up a little bit later on, but so far, what do you think?
Well, we're not disappointed as far as we thought this would be a tremendous game, and in all aspects of the game, two good football teams, two well offensive displays out here, two different types of offenses, of course, but exciting football, special teams. There just has been very, very few mistakes, and that's the sign of excellent job by both coaches, both coaching staffs as far as the preparation for this game. And, it's going to be an exciting second half, but I feel real confident. I think we'll make a couple adjustments. We've definitely proven we can move the ball. It's just it's one of those things. The key for our defense is to contain Miller, and I think we definitely need to put a little more pressure, though, on quarterback you know, he's had a lot of time back there, and this is the first quarterback we've seen that has had that time. In the past, we've had good pressure. Again, you have to give credit where credit is due. Mount Pleasant, excellent offensive line, protection. Traditionally, Mount Pleasant has always had a good offensive line. Before Bob Jensen was the head football coach, he was their line coach, and I know that's been a strong suit of his, and he's always had, you know, a solid quarterback. He's always had something about the Miller boys. You know, he had Doug Miller for 4 years, and now Todd Miller, no relation, but two outstanding backs, and it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments both teams make in the second half. And it's still going to be boiling down to, you know, minimize the mistakes and who has the ball last.
Well, as we said, Mount Pleasant has been able to capitalize on one of the Demons' mistakes, a fumble, and then when you're in their own territory, certainly things went their way with that 30-yard run by Todd Miller, which, as we said, that was a work of art and an excellent run there for Todd Miller as well. The Demons have been able to run the football, run a couple of different plays. They've been able to pass the ball as well. Doesn't seem like the wind's the kind of factor that we anticipated here tonight. It was kind of swirling around earlier on. Maybe it's died down a little bit, but right now not really affecting tremendously what Mount Pleasant's want to do, which we did kind of expect them to pass the ball a little bit.
He hasn't disappointed as far as his ability to throw. He definitely has quite an arm. We're talking about Jesse Brammer, their quarterback, stands 6. I believe they list him as 6'5", and he really does throw a nice ball, and that'll be a key, I'm sure, in the second half. As what they decide. Now, Washington will get the ball. It's too bad we didn't have about another 30 seconds of time remaining, or I'm sure we would have been able to get that score in. But again, credit is credit where it's due. Mount Pleasant was able to make the defensive play. So two outstanding quarters. 14. You know, we thought this would be. I said 21-14 would be the final score, and we're already both teams 14-14. So I'm sure we'll see a couple more scores as we progress through this second half.
Demons have 36 carries for 265 yards here, and it's Chris Jarvis, 14 carries, 130 yards. Andy 6, 11 carries, 65 yards. Kelly Williams, 10 for 50, and Adam Miller, 1 carry for 20 yards. The Demons, let's see here, 6 yards passing, 13 yards, 278 yards of total offense for the Washington Demons. Meanwhile, Mount Pleasant, 74 rushing yards, and they are 13 of 74 as far as the rushes go, so 13 carries. And as far as passing goes, they are 4 of 8 for 53 yards and 127 yards of total offense. Other games that are going on here tonight: Centerville's at Keokuk, Fort Madison plays at Fairfield tonight, Davis County is at Albia, Eddyville Blakesburg at Mid-Prairie, Waco's at Linville, Sully, Clear Creek, Amana at Sigourney, Keota, Williamsburg at Highland Lone Tree, Solon is at Columbus, Pekin is at Cardinal of Eldon, Bellevue is at Winfield Mount Union, and L&M is at Durant Bennett tonight. L&M, so far, things are going well for Tom Wilson's team, and a couple of wins would get them into the playoffs. Pekin, if they win the district title. Solon, I think with the win with Columbus, they would go and get a district championship. Waco has got to beat Linville Sully this week, and they've got to beat HOV next week to get into the playoffs. This district, Chuck, before we join the band here, Mount Pleasant's already clinched a playoff berth. If Washington wins tonight, however, they'll be district champions. If Mount Pleasant wins, they're district champions. Now, if Washington would lose this game and Washington would lose next week, you go to this tie-breaking system. Things just kind of get all jumbled up right now. It's kind of tough to predict. What we do know is if Washington wins tonight, they're into the playoffs, and they're the district champion.
Well, I think I feel good about tonight. I know one thing: whatever happens tonight, we will not lose at home against Keokuk next Friday night. There'd have to be we'd have to have monsoon season come through or something that neither team can do anything. But that's the only way that's going to happen. And I really think, I would never say this when I was coaching, project. I mean, you know a lot of things. You're just not going to say a lot of things. Right. But from from the standpoint up here, I really think we're going to see a rematch. No matter what happens tonight as far as the outcome of this game, we're going to see these two teams play again. I really feel these two teams are the strongest in Southeast Iowa, and whether one or two, wherever, whoever finishes one or two, wherever they go in the first round, I really look for us to be a rematch in the second round.
So this football game right now is tied. Washington, 14th, ranked 3rd in the AP and Radio Iowa poll. Mount Pleasant ranked in number 2 in the Radio Iowa and AP poll. So we're tied up at 14 here, and as promised, we are just going to turn down our microphones and put out the field mic and listen to the Washington Demon Marching Band, kind of give them some credits, and as hard as they've been working, not all of our listeners get a chance to listen to the band, so we'll listen to the Washington Demon Marching Band out there on the field as the Demons and Mount Pleasant are tied at 14 as we listen to the marching band on KCII Washington.
With the holidays fast approaching, this is the perfect time to plan your family portrait. Casual, elegant,
3 days, that's all you have. 3 days to save at Heilig Myers.
So the Washington Demon Marching Band, we just wanted to take a moment here, as we haven't had a chance to all season long, to just kind of recognize some of the efforts of the marching band. If you never get a chance to see them, a very good visual show as well that this team puts on. They've certainly been getting the high ratings at contests, and they've got those nice uniforms that they got a couple of years ago, and the marching band looking very good here as the Washington Marching Band performs here. If you haven't had a chance yet, head on out to Case Field next week as the Demons host Keokuk to see the Demon Marching Band in action once again. Our halftime show will continue coming up. We are going to take a 2-minute timeout. A 2-minute timeout here, and by that time we will summarize what we saw here in the first half as the Demons and the Mount Pleasant Panthers are tied up at 14th with the third quarter coming up just a couple of minutes away. Mount Pleasant 14, Washington 14, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. This is Demon Football on KCII.
3 days, that's all you have.
Big savings.
3 days to save at Heilig Myers.
Big savings.
Through Sunday, save 23% off everyday low-priced furniture. Through Sunday, save 11% off electronics and appliances.
Amazing.
Take advantage of all the savings for this event at Heilig Myers.
Astonishing savings.
23% off everyday low-priced furniture, 11% off electronics and appliances. That's Heilig Myers.
Don't be late.
Engineered Building Design is proud to be part of Washington and proud to have this opportunity to wish the best to the Washington Demon football team. Engineered Building Design encourages everyone to turn out and cheer the Demons on to victory. You can make a difference. Good luck, Demons, from everyone at Engineered Building Design on Highway 1 and 92 North in Washington.
Let's say you weren't paying attention to details one day and you forgot to open your screen door and walked right through it. Well, now you have a dilemma. A screen door with no screen. It's easily fixable to the people at Sorrel Glass in Washington. They repair screens as well as window glass. They also repair windows on commercial doors and have new ones. Sorrel Glass can even go right to you, or you can bring the door right to them. They also repair table glass and have replacement windows for storm windows. Sorrel Glass, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30. Call them at 653-3192. You do have a choice. You don't have to take your glass repair out of town. Keeping their nose to the grindstone, working hard to make the machine run right. A couple of things in common between Dick Ross Auto and the Washington Demons. A well-oiled machine, tuned to its top efficiency, making a winner every time. The Demons and Dick Ross Auto are the best at what they do. Count on them both to provide quality and performance. Good luck, Demons, from Dick Ross Auto of Washington.
Both teams very well could be.
16. And welcome back to Case Field in Washington here. Boy, if one more person asked me what the final score is going to be.
Well, if I knew that, we could go home. We could just tell everybody, and we go home. Should be an exciting, just as exciting second half as it was the first half.
Exactly what we were anticipating here, no question about it. Well, the Demons got possession in the first half. That's because Mount Pleasant had deferred. So this will be Demons, Jeremy Greiner and Tony Canny both marking off the steps here. We have Jeremy Greiner who lines up, and he's been kicking it short. Tony Canny, the deep kicker, with Todd Miller and Chad Scarf standing back at the 10-yard line. They haven't had a chance to return any kicks yet, but they are very dangerous receivers. Here's Tony Canny. He's going to kind of onside this one. Just takes a couple of funny bounces out to the 32-yard line, and Andy Six is going to wrap the arms and make a textbook tackle to Armin McCormick over there at the 33-yard line. So here we go, and Mount Pleasant will start off with possession. Tied up at 14, third quarter. And, Coach, as you start the second half, what's the most important thing you got to do here defensively here? Just make a couple of stops here to kind of get that defensive confidence going?
Well, I think to get your confidence going and kind of to delay the offensive success of Mount Pleasant. And to do that, we're just going to have to contain Miller and not let Bremer have so much time throwing.
Split back formation, two receivers to the left side. And he faked the pass, and he's going to hand it off to Todd Miller, who gets stuck at the line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line. He just kind of leisurely went out and handed it off to Todd Miller. He almost looked like he was looking downfield as if he was going to go into a little passing motion.
Right, a little fake pass. It really wasn't a true draw, but Justin Sabaski, Adam Miller coming up and helping Justin, but a nice play by the defense. No gain, bringing up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 for Mount Pleasant, 35-yard line, just beginning the 3rd quarter. Split back formation again. This time Matt Malloy comes from the split end in motion slowly, and now Mount Pleasant takes the jump, and it was Jeff Anderson, the left wing back, and he crosses the line of scrimmage, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be on Mount Pleasant, and a legal procedure is the call, and that'll put him back a little bit farther, bring up another passing situation.
2nd and 15 probably will be, if there is any wind, he's going to be throwing into the wind. The success they've had earlier is some type of crossing route, particularly if he has time to throw it, because those crossing routes do take time to develop. By a crossing route, I mean a tight end or a flanker or a split end lined up and then going downfield and then coming directly across the field.
Receivers left and right side out of the I formation. 3rd down, or 2nd down and 14, I should say. And here's the pass. It's going to be incomplete out at the 38-yard line. The 2nd down play is going to fall short as Jay Quinn had some good coverage there on Matt Malloy, 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage near the 40.
Yeah, real good coverage. He ran about ran that 5-yard and then just tried to find the slant. And fairly quick delivery, well-thrown ball, but good coverage and incomplete pass.
10:47 is the time on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Tied up here at 14. I formation, ends left and right side from the middle of the field. Brammer looking to pass, steps into the pocket. He launches this one. He's got a man open. It's going to be Rogers at the 45, across midfield to the 40. And then shoved down at the 32-yard line. No flags, and a big play that time for the Mount Pleasant Panthers. The tight end, Devin Rogers, with a big pickup.
Well, he lined up at the right tight end, and what he did was he just went down. There we go. But he ran that down and went down the sideline and really made a nice move. But what an outstanding throw by Bremer to hit him as he went down the sideline for the 1st down.
So an offset I formation and a 1st and 10 from the Demon 35-yard line. Bremer fumbles the snap for a second, but now he rolls out, and now he's just running out of there, and he's going to be pulled down well behind the line of scrimmage, and it was Adam Miller that ended up chasing him down way back at the 48-yard line, and that one, following the fumble, Bremer got it back, then he tried to scramble out of there, and he's going to end up losing about 13 yards.
Yeah, he took that snap, and as he was coming back to give the ball to Miller, he kind of lost control of it and then was able to get it back. And as you said, he tried to roll to the left, and good pressure, and he just didn't have the speed to contain that defense, and bringing up a nice 2nd and about 23.
And 2nd down and a 23 from the 46-yard line out of the I formation. Scarf goes in motion to the left side. Bremer looking to pass. Steps into the pocket, throws it across the middle, and it looked like it hit the official, goes incomplete. The official was standing at the 40-yard line. He tried to hit a man over by the original line of scrimmage, who was Chad Scarf, and, well, that's just a situation. The official's just like the field.
Well, that was a good defensive play by that official. It looked like the ball was right on the money heading for that receiver. Again, that was like a crossing route with the flanker, and the ball, just like you said, it just looked like it hit the official, and incomplete pass. So brings up another 3rd and long for Mount Pleasant. This time, we need to hold them.
And the Demons make a little bit of an adjustment defensively. They did on the previous play as Chris Jarvis plays the nickelback here on this 3rd and 22 from the 46. Blitz is on. This one is launched up, and it's going to be complete to Malloy, but he's going to be pulled down well short of a 1st down at the 44-yard line.
Well, Andy Six really came with the heat that time. He blew right by the defensive man and forced Bremer to unload it, and Bremer was fortunate that wasn't picked off, but it was only about a 5-yard gain, but that ball was up in the air about 20 yards straight up, and excellent defense by the Demons, causing Mount Pleasant to punt on 4th down.
Twin safeties back for the Demons at the 10-yard line. Malloy will step into this one at the 45-yard line. Gets off a wobbly one, and this one will hit the 22-yard line, take him out Pleasant bounce inside the 20 to the 17-yard line with 8:39 left in the third quarter. So
Let's see what we can do on offense. We need a drive. We got plenty of time, so we don't need to get down to the 5-yard line and have to rush anything. We got plenty of time, and just continue to execute like we did in the first half. Do a good job of continual blind blocking and big plays.
So here come the Demons, and it's going to be Andy Six trying to the right side there. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, swallowed up there by a couple of players, and Marty Merton's one of the players on the pack there, but I think the initial hit was made by one of the down linemen, who is Nick McTee. 245 pounds. As we said, the Panthers are very big in the inside.
Well, the most success we've had so far appears to be to the left side with Chris getting outside, or even going to the right side with Kelly, but the middle, they seem to make some adjustments and plug that up. We haven't had much success lately with the middle.
And here we go. Adam Miller holds on to the football, does a little bit of a bootleg here, and then he cuts back into the middle across the 20 and down to the 22-yard line. So Adam faked the handoff to Kelly Williams to the right. He'd hold on to it to the left side, but a Panther was right there, so Adam had to do a little dancing around there as he got stopped at the 23-yard line. It'll be third down coming up here at about 5 yards.
Well, it was good discipline as far as the right side of Mount Pleasant's defense, not going for that fake. But Adam Miller did a nice job of picking up 5 yards. It looked like that wasn't going to get much at all.
3rd and 4 from the 23-yard line. They'll do the inside reverse. Fumbled up, but Kelly Williams got back the football, but he is going to lose some yards in the process. Pinned all the way back to the 20-yard line for a loss of 3 yards, and really it was kind of tough for Kelly to get moving there because his number one priority is to get the football back into his hands.
Yeah, not a good exchange. We tried that inside. Well, I'm not sure if that was the inside reverse. It happened so quickly. Was that the...
Yeah, well, Chris Jarvis did have it at first, it appeared, and just did not get off a clean. As we said, it happens quick. If you blink, you'll miss a play. That's happened to us a couple of times. Twin receivers back in punt formation. Here's a snap coming out to Adam Miller. And Miller gets off a low kick. This will be returned at the 43-yard line. Scarf breaks the tackle at the 50, to the 45, to the 40. He's got some running room and upended at the 30-yard line. There's going to be some great field position coming up for the Mount Pleasant Panthers, and a big run back that time for Chad Scarf. Run back of about 27 yards.
Well, they had the wall on the left side. It was a low line drive, and he caught it on the left hash mark and went right down the field. We thought there might have been close to a clip on Chris Jarvis, but the official said no, and instead of marking him back, Mount Pleasant's going to start on our 30-yard line.
Well, as Coach Jensen said, he wanted to get Washington to punt in this football game more than they have all season, and so far that is true to form. 1st and 10 from the Demon 30-yard line, left hash mark. Brammer is going to give it to tailback Todd Miller. Breaks one tackle, breaks another at the 25-yard line, and stopped at the 24-yard line for the Panthers. 6-yard pickup, bringing up second down, 14-14, Mount Pleasant and Washington. The clock continues to run, 6:20 left in the third quarter.
Well, they do a nice job of containing that. It looked like he was going to break that. They tried that trap play. That time they pulled the guard down and tried to trap the left tackle, and Miller scoots through there, but good pursuit and reaction by the defense to hold it to a 5-yard gain.
Receiver to the right, wing back and tight end left side. Out of the I formation, 2nd down and 4 from the 24-yard line. Brammer fakes the handoff, play action left side. He launches this one out of the right side, got a man open, and it was tipped at the last second. Incomplete at the 7-yard line. Once again, Jake Quinn with a great play, and he may have saved a touchdown. Boy, it looked like Matt Malloy was open there, but Quinn did a great job of closing in on him.
Yeah, he did, like you said, he right on about the 3-yard line. Jake just reached up and was able to deflect that. Otherwise, it looks like Malloy's going to catch the ball and go into the end zone, but nice fake to Miller, and then he kind of bootlegged out. He really does throw a nice ball. You have to be impressed with the way he throws. So good coverage by Washington.
3rd and 4 from the 24-yard line. Again, an I formation. Brammer gets it to Miller, the tailback. finds an opening around the right side, turns the corner at the 20, cuts back at the 15, breaks one at the 5, still on his feet and shoved out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Well, he didn't see anything on the inside, Chuck, so he rolled around to the outside, and like the Demons are used to, Chris and Kelly, once you find an opening around the corner, it's tough to catch up to him that way. It'll be first down.
From up here, it looked like there just was absolutely no running room, and he made a little dip to the inside and that quick to the outside, and he had the whole defense inside trying to contain him, and he was able to break that contain to the right side and get out of the right side, and very close to going in the end zone, knocked out on about the 4-yard line.
First and goal from the 5-yard line with 5:39 left. We're tied up here in the third quarter. Out of the I formation, Brammer hands it off to Todd Miller, goes up the middle, trying to squirm his way in, and he appears to be stopped just short of the goal line. It'll be second down.
Yeah, it looks like they're marking it right in front of the goal line. Well, they do. I'm not so sure they're not making their call on the line, because they sit there, and Bremer does a nice job of looking over the defense, and we weren't able to get any penetration that time.
Full house backfield now in the backfield. It's 2nd and 1. And they'll go right up the middle, and it's going to be in there for a Mount Pleasant touchdown, and it looked like one of the backup fullbacks came on and ended up getting the touchdown for the Mount Pleasant Panthers.
Yeah, like you said, they were in a full house backfield, and they just went with a fullback over left guard and was able to find the seam over left guard in for the 1-yard touchdown to put Mount Pleasant up 20-14 with 4:55 left. It's Mount Pleasant ready to try to kick the extra point.
So the Panthers get set. Appeared maybe it was Adam Herman that got the carry, but we'll just wait on that. Here's the kick after. It is up, it's on the way, and it is going to be good. And Mount Pleasant, with 4:55 left in the third quarter, is going to take a 21-14 lead in this football game. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Washington and Mount Pleasant football on AM and FM KCII in Washington.
Now more than ever, we know that prevention is the key to good health. At Physical Therapy Services, they understand the effort it takes to change a person's lifestyle behavior. It takes motivation and the support of a qualified instructor. They'd like to invite you to come and try their wellness center run by fitness director Amy Cleese. Now 1-year-old, members enjoy individualized exercise programs designed especially for them based on their goals and fitness assessments. There are no fad workouts and no get fit quick guarantees. They emphasize exercises that will help you maintain a healthy body for life.
And welcome back to Case Field in Washington here. A 1-yard run for Brad Sammons. The kick is up and good, and giving the Panthers a 21-14 lead. So that's essentially what the Panthers wanted to do, and you can essentially give that 27-yard punt return kind of the key that time.
Well, they start, when you start from the other opponent's 30-yard line, why, that's excellent field position. Maybe we get our run back here.
Kelly Williams gets it at the 10-yard line. Up the middle he goes. Breaks one to the 25. Looking for a hole to the 30. Spinning forward and then down to the 34-yard line. Boy, if he could just get past that wedge just a little bit more, and he might be on his way.
Well, I was trying to see that first man down for Mount Pleasant just literally throws himself right into the middle of that 5-man wedge, and that kind of disrupts our timing as far as really creating a scene. And Kelly still is very close to finding the seam, and it just seems like he's just a half a step from breaking one.
So here come the Demons in their double wing formation toward the middle of the field. 1st and 10, 33. Pitch out Chris Jarvis. Looking to the left side. Puts his head down to the 35 and then shoved down at the 38-yard line. And it was the dude that just got the touchdown, Brad Sammons, helping out with the tackle there for the Mount Pleasant Panthers.
Well, we've had success with that sweep to the left. Seems like when we run that sweep, particularly when we seal it inside and go outside, we have a little more success than when we try to kick out and cut inside. So most of our success with that sweep has been strictly totally going to the outside, around the defensive end.
2nd and 4 from the 38-yard line for the Demons. A very tight formation again. Kelly Williams, nothing to the right side. Now he cuts down, puts his head down across the 40 and down to the 37-yard line.
Kelly made nothing it looked like was going to be nothing, and was able to just make a cut up back to the inside to pick up about 3 yards, and going to be very, I think we're going to be short about a yard. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and about 1. Now they're going to measure.
They're going to measure, but boy, I thought he was well short of a first down. As we said, a lot of these marks have fooled us tonight. Yeah, he'll be probably length of a football short. 4:02 left in the third, 21-14. The Panthers have scored the only touchdown here of the second half. Brad Salmon's 1-yard run about a minute ago of game time. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Well, we're
42. How about an 86?
Well, we're about 40. We're about 4 yards in from the left hash mark. I look for us to come to this side with Chris Jarvis.
So here's the 3rd and 1 play. Miller gets a snap. It'll be Chris Jarvis coming to the near side. He'll cut toward the inside and across the 45 down at the 40-yard line before the tackle is made by Bob McClure. And you called it there, Coach. Sometimes it just depends on how the Demons are set up and what they felt confident in. But Jarvis didn't really have anything on the near side of the field, so he had to cut back in toward the center.
Well, again, Mount Pleasant is really concerned about the wide side, but they adjust very well when we come back to that weak side. As soon as somebody goes in motion, why, they back off the one side. Oh.
Ball is fumbled. It's loose down on the ground, but Kelly Williams recovers it back at the 40-yard line. They'll lose 5 yards. Just looked like a mishandled a snap there. Adam had it fly out of his hands, and then it went off a couple of the Demons, and Kelly Williams, Jimmy on the spot, ends up falling back on the football. Boy, that would have been huge. The Demons need to keep possession here.
We can't give them possession in our territory. If we're going to give up the ball, it has to be they stop us, we punt it, and they then put them back in their territory.
2nd and 15 from the 41-yard line. 21-14. Mount Pleasant has it. Here we go with the double handoff. It's Chris Jarvis. Jarvis is not going to get free of the Mount Pleasant Panther out at the 43-yard line. Tackle going to be made by the defensive lineman Mike Messer, 5'9", 215-pounder. Actually, it's listed as a linebacker with 2:48 left here in the third. Demons have a 3rd and 13 play.
Yeah, we tried that inside handoff again where we give it to Kelly, and Kelly gives it back to Chris. It's a very fast developing play, but just not much running room that time.
Here's Kelly Williams trying to sweep it to the right side, and he is going to be shoveled down, and he's going to be tackled for a big loss. And oh, what a big defensive surge that time for the Panthers. A couple of players there. Nick McTee, Don Campbell helping out there.
Yes, Jake Cruz, 74, really penetrated. He disrupted that whole play. He was, as soon as the ball was snapped, he was 4 yards into our backfield, and that's what caused that to foul up, and there was just nothing there to run, and forcing, at least, I said if they're going to stop us, we at least to punt them and get coverage and get downfield and not give them possession in our territory.
Two receivers stand almost on top of each other back at the 20-yard line. Here comes the snap to Adam Miller in punt formation. Wobbly kick going to be fielded at the 30. It's mocked. The ball is loose, but it's going to be picked up by the Panthers at the 32-yard line. Oh, it went off of Scarf, and John Greiner all of a sudden had the ball in front of him. But, and all credit to John Greiner. He was concentrated on making the tackle, and all of a sudden it bounced off him, and two Panther players were right there, and the Panthers get it at 32. That would have been huge.
Yeah, that would have been a big opportunity had we been able to capitalize, but Mount Pleasant was able to recover, and they're going to start on their own 32-yard line. Nice punt by Adam Miller, high, good coverage downfield. I think that's what the coverage by John Greiner is what caused that fumble, because he was ready to they didn't call for the fair catch, and I think he was really concentrating on making the tackle, and was surprised the ball came to him the way it was. It bounced off the Mount Pleasant receiver, hit the ground, hit John, and John wasn't able to gain control of it, and the ball was laying out there, and Mount Pleasant was able to get on it. So missed opportunity there by Washington, but good punt coverage, and we'll just have to really tighten up the chin straps here as far as defense and put some pressure and try to force them into a fourth down punting situation and not let them control the clock.
It's 21-14 in favor of the Mount Pleasant Panthers with the clock running now. 1:29 left in the third quarter. Here come the Panthers at their own 33-yard line. Left hash mark I formation. Two receivers to the left side for quarterback Jesse Brammer. Long count, trying to draw the team off, but he won't do it. Todd Miller up the middle across the 35 and shoved down 38-yard line. Picks up 5 yards on the run. Just again a full head of steam, and Adam Miller came out to make the tackle. Jake Hotchkiss also making a good defensive hit there for the Demons.
Well, he gets he gets that ball, as we said, he gets that ball 5 yards in the backfield. By the time he hits the line, he's going full bore, and he's not real big, but he's awful shifty. But for his size, he runs very hard, and he's very hard to get you just don't get a solid shot on him.
2nd and 6 from the Panther 37-yard line, an offset I formation. And we will have Miller again. He'll find a hole. Cuts back toward the middle across the 40. Still on his feet. Saboski's going to wrap him up, and then the Demons come over to help Saboski. It'll be Andy Six helping out with the tackle. But down to the 42-yard line, it'll be just a couple of yards short of a first down as the clock continues to run with 26 seconds, and that could be the last play here of this third quarter.
Yeah, I think they're just going to let the clock run out. They're spotted at the 41, so actually it's going to be about a third and a long two. Good spot for Washington. We thought he was upfield more, but we've been seeing that all night. The officials against both teams really seem to have spotted the ball a little short from actual where they actually went down. So that ends the third quarter as we head to the fourth.
So Mount Pleasant has scored 1 touchdown, and that has been the only score here in the third quarter as it ends, and we get ready for the fourth quarter. Your score is Mount Pleasant 21 and Washington 14. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Demon Football on KCII in Washington.
Mangold's Jewelers would like to take this time to thank their loyal customers for their valuable friendship and extend an open invitation to area residents to stop and see their full line of fine jewelry and giftware. Mangold's Jewelers offers friendly and knowledgeable service that you can't find anywhere else. Mangold's is here to serve you, and they're here to stay. Mangold's Jewelers, distinctive selection and service on the east side of the square in Washington.
Brian Schlater and Chuck Henry back here at Case Field in Washington, where it's Mount Pleasant leading the Demons by 7 points. And Washington playing some defense, and Washington needs to make some big defensive plays here. You would almost sense that Mount Pleasant is probably going to try and keep it on the ground at all opportunities, I would sense. So what do you think?
Yeah, we need a big third down stop here to force them to punt to get the ball back. We cannot let them sustain a long drive and eat up that clock, and particularly let them go down and score against them. This is a big third down play for Washington.
And it's going to be 3rd down and 2 from the Panther 41-yard line. Brammer getting the snap, gets it to Miller. Miller stutter steps, moves forward, and the Demons are going to stop him. He'll pick up maybe a yard, but he's going to be short of a first down. And once again, it looked like Saboski and Hotchkiss and the linebacking core, the defensive ends. Bartholomew may have been in there as well. It'll be 4th down for the 41. And if you're the Panthers, I don't know what they're going to do here, but you've got to kick it out.
I'm sure they're going to punt it out of there. I mean, you can't risk giving up, or even if you fake and don't make it, you can't give Washington the ball. I wish they would, but give us the ball there. Then we get a return here. If they can get, we can get some block. I think we're going to have 2 men on the field.
And now they run the fake, and here come the Panthers across midfield, down to the 40, and then over to the 35-yard line, and it's going to be first down for the Panthers, and the snap came out to Nick Carter. So there wasn't even a punt, and, well, they ended up faking it. But I thought I saw a flag over there on the sideline. I don't know if that's something else or anything.
Unless it was...
Let's see if the official calls anything. He comes over to the sideline now.
See, he's going to check with this, because I think they were saying...
That play developed really quickly, and I didn't even think everybody was set. Let's see what this is about. Illegal procedure on Mount Pleasant. That's a break for the Demons, big time. So the Panthers tried a fake, and it picked them up all kinds of yardage, about 20 yards, and over on the far sideline, over in front of Mount Pleasant by the sticks, we saw the flag come out, and now you know Mount Pleasant's not going to fiddle around with a fake. But that was kind of a dangerous call nonetheless.
Well, it was a gutsy call, and but fortunately for us, procedure penalty.
Malloy stands back at the 22-yard line. And Malloy will kick this one. Short kick, and it's going to be fielded. Kelly Williams picks it up 28-yard line, and then good downfield coverage at the 33-yard line. Making the initial hit was Brad Sammons, and Sammons is certainly having himself a good second half here for the Panthers, but the Demons are going to get possession here, down by 7 with 11:06 left in the fourth.
Well, like you said, 11:06, we're down 7. A lot of time, chance to just really execute and try to regain that momentum and get a nice sustained drive here. Look for us to come out with the sweep to Chris to start this drive.
Out of the double wing in the center of the field, 1st and 10 for the Demon own 32-yard line. Pitch out to Chris Jarvis, trying something on the left side. He's going to be wrapped around, and once again, there's going to be a horde of Mount Pleasant tacklers there, and the first one there to stop things was Dan Campbell, big number 72, and he is a big guy there at 6'1", 210-pound defensive end. Obviously a big candidate there for all conference for the Panthers there defensively, along with many others.
Yeah, Chris really didn't have any running room. Mount Pleasant's made some real nice adjustments as far as reading that sweep and slanting to the, they seem to be adjusting and making a call and slanting to the side we're going most of the time.
2nd and 14 from the 30-yard line. Up the middle for Andy Six. Breaks one tackle. The ball is fumbled. It's loose on the ground at the 37-yard line, and the Panthers got it. He got it stripped out of his hand toward the end of the play as he tried to put in an extra effort, and the Panthers will have excellent field position at the 37-yard line.
That's a shame, because that was a nice opening, quick hit trap inside with Andy Six breaking through and picking up a good 6, 7, 8 yards, and just trying a little too hard to get extra yards. The ball came loose, and Mount Pleasant fell on it on our 37-yard line. Looks like that's where the ball would have been had the fake punt been successful.
So with 10:23 left in the fourth, 21-14 Panthers. Split back formation here. Jesse Brammer, the quarterback, awaits the snap, and now we got a flag coming out by the field judge, and usually that means that's going to be a delay of some sort, and it is. Delay a game. The Panthers will be set back 5 yards. Demons will take it.
Yes, we will. That was a fast 25 seconds.
I thought so, too. Sometimes it's easy to kind of...
Sometimes that's good to do, though. I'd kind of like to back them up a little more, personally.
Jesse Brammer runs in the play very quickly this time. 1st and 15 from the Demon 42-yard line, 21-14. Panthers got the lead. Here comes Malloy. Comes in motion a little bit. Demons fake the blitz. They're going to pitch it out to Miller. Now he fumbles the football, but he picks it back up at the 40-yard line, and then he gets swallowed up by a horde of Demons. So he found the ball falling right back in his hands and ended up picking up a gain of a couple of yards, probably 5 yards.
Yeah, there was a chance I thought we were going to get it back. I saw that ball bouncing, and all of a sudden he's able to pick it up and still pick up about 2-3 yards. So bringing up 2nd and 12.
39-yard line is where it is placed. 9:52 left in the fourth. Demons trail by 7. Want to step up and maybe make a big defensive play. Out of the I formation, Jesse Brammer gets the snap. And Brammer looking to pass, and he's got some time. Launches this one long to the left side. It's going to be incomplete at the 10-yard line. And he overthrew Jeff Anderson. Adam Miller actually was probably closer to it. Almost looked well defended, and Brammer aired that one out, bringing up a 3rd and 12, and the clock stopping at 9:37.
They had a pro set to the flanker to the left, tight end on the left side, split end to the right, and they just tried to run the flanker down, kind of like he was going in, and broke it back outside, but well covered and overthrown. And actually, Washington defense we had the closest man. I believe it was Chris Jarvis that's in there at the safety, and he looked like he was the closest man to that ball.
Crowd gets on their feet, wants some defense. Now Miller comes out of his tailback position, lines up at a wingback. Brammer looking to pass. Being rushed, steps into the pocket, throws this one long and across the middle. He's got a man open, and it's going to be dropped by Malloy in the end zone. It's incomplete. Oh, that would have been huge. He had a man open, but Malloy couldn't hang on to the football.
Yeah, that ball was right in his chest. It looked like we're fortunate he didn't hold on to that ball because he dropped it in the end zone. What a throw by Bremer. I mean, he stepped up into that pocket, looked like he was going to be some good pressure. He just stepped up and just unloaded, and I think we dodged the bullet right there.
So now we have the punter back, Matt Malloy, standing at his own 44-yard line. They run the fake again. It's going to be Carter. This time the Demons swallow him up. And it's going to be Brett Krantz. This time the Demons were somewhat expecting it because they were a little bit deeper into Demon territory than the last time, and that'll get him out to the 38-yard line. As the snap went out to Nick Carter, and that's better than pinning the Demons back deep in their own territory. Instead, the Demons will have it at the 38 with 9:25 in the fourth.
That was a nice read on the left side of our defense to read that fake that time, and really I think he only picked up about 2. I think I don't even know if Mount Pleasant really expected to make that. I think they decided, well, we don't want to risk a punt return by Washington, and so if they stop it, they're still in their own territory.
I agree. 1st and 10. Adam Miller looking back to pass. A little flare out to Chris Jarvis. It's incomplete at the 40-yard line. There's just a couple of yards beyond the line of scrimmage, so even if he would have caught it, out on his heels was Jeff Anderson. So that time, Miller just dropped back, trying to get a little flare out that time for Chris Jarvis.
Chris coming out from that wing back. Adam rolls to the right and just tried to hit him about 3-4 yards down the field, but unable to hold on. It was kind of thrown a little behind him, and Chris was unable to hold on it. And as you said, defensive back from Mount Pleasant right up on it right away.
Stewart gets under the football from the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 10, 9:20 left in the fourth quarter. Andy Six up the middle, burrows his way forward, and maybe a yard if that. Mount Pleasant's done a great job at stopping Andy Six here in the second half.
Yeah, we haven't had nearly the success of that inside trap that we had early in the first half. But again, good teams make adjustments. I think we've made some good adjustments against their offense, and they've made some. So again, like we said, this is going to there's a lot of good strategy going on both sides.
3rd and 9. And here we go. And it's going to be Chris Jarvis hanging on to the football across the 40 and down to the 44-yard line. It's going to bring a 4th and 5 coming up for the Demons, and a decision time coming up, 8:35. Still plenty of time left here for Washington. So more than likely we'll see maybe a punting type formula coming up. Maybe, I'm not sure what the Demons would try here. They still have it down in their own territory. I think maybe if they were another...
Well, I think we're going to see now we're going to be in punt. I thought we might see the old punt formation where we quick kick with Kelly, but...
So from the 43-yard line, Harris awaits a snap. And now a snap to Adam Miller, and a flag comes out, and this will be a delay of game. So now the Demons will move back a little bit farther, back to the 38-yard line. Clock at 8 minutes flat here.
Now they have their regular punt return. They had their regular defense. They weren't going to, they just dropped their safeties, but now they have the regular defense back. And
now an official's timeout here for the moment. I don't know what this is all about.
I think that's where they spot it. But Mount Pleasant now has their punt return, their regular punt return team in.
Now it's kind of surprised the Demons weren't in their quick kick formation. I mean, they had a chance there, but now with the delay of game, the Demons definitely in punt formation. Adam Miller will be at his own 28-yard line. Gets the snap from Harrison. Adam Miller looking to pass, and he launches this one. Caught Jake Quinn. Stuck at the 45-yard line, lunges forward, but he's going to be a couple of yards short of a first down.
Yeah, I thought we might try that, but what we did was Adam just threw to Jake. He was open, but because there was 10 yards to go, the ball was thrown about 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and Jake was going to have to pick up at least 5-6 yards, and the defense got on him, really recovered fast, and were able to make the stop, and Mount Pleasant's going to take over on our 46-yard line.
Illegal procedures the call on the Demons, and Coach Cisco has his hands up. He's a little curious on what this is about, and he is not happy with the side judge on this play, and he is still letting them have it. A legal procedure was declined, but Coach Cisco is not happy with the officiating. Alex Nurse checking into the football game now for the Demons. Washington needs a big play here. 21-14, Mount Pleasant leads at 7:51 left in the fourth. Still plenty of time here. Demons got to stop the Panthers. Left hash mark, two receivers left side, out of the I formation. Quarterback Jesse Brammer awaits the snap. They'll give it to the up man. That'll be Carter, and it's going to be Jake Hotchkiss wrestling him down to the ground. Boy, wrestling's not for a month yet, but give the two-point takedown to Jake Hotchkiss on that play as they stop him at the 43.
Jake playing that middle linebacker spot came up. They tried to little quick hitter with the fullback, and Jake came right up, read that well, and held it to about a 2-yard gain, if that.
2nd and 8 from the 44. Clock continues to move. 7:22 left here. Out of the I formation. It'll be Brammer to the tailback. That'll be Todd Miller. And it was Alex Nurse who held on to him, and Miller dragged him for a couple of yards. Miller is going to be probably 2, maybe 3 yards short of a first down as the ball is going to be spotted at the 37-yard line.
It's going to bring up third and about 2. The trouble is here, they're almost in 4-down territory when you get 3rd and 2. If they don't make it on 3rd down, this situation, they'll probably go for it. So we either have to have hope for a penalty or sack him for a loss.
Out of the I, 3rd down and 2, 37-yard line. Motion man comes to the left side, stops at his wingback position. To the tailback, Todd Miller. Swinging around to the right side. He's got a good block over there on the right side. Then he breaks a tackle. He gets around Jarvis down the sideline to the 20, to the 10, and into the end zone for a Mount Pleasant Panther touchdown. 37 yards for Mount Pleasant, Todd Miller.
Well, that was the same play he broke in the first quarter. That delay, like a deep handoff, like he's going up the middle, breaks it to the outside, and then really turns on, almost makes it like a 90-degree turn right down one of about the 35-yard line, and was able to get outside and then turned it back upfield. And again, his quickness and speed, very elusive.
And here the snap is muffled up, and here comes the holder rolling out. McClure tried to let go of it over on the left side. Well, now they blew the whistles, and they said incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
Yeah, McClure was down on his knees when he threw it. I thought he was down. Nonetheless, the conversion attempt is no good, and that is going to make the score Mount Pleasant 27 and Washington 14 with 6:29 left in the fourth quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout. The Demons will receive the kickoff here in a moment. This is Demon Football on KCII.
For a limited time only, when you buy an installed Designer Series replacement window from Pella Windows of Richland, you get a $50 rebate. And it doesn't end there. When you get an installed Designer Series patio door, you get $200 for a rebate. You'll love Pella's windows and doors, beautiful wood interiors, low-maintenance exteriors, energy efficiency, and easy clean features. Plus, Pella makes it easy to replace your old windows and doors with solutions for every budget, including expert installation. Pella's viewed to be the best. Pella Windows of Richland. See us in the yellow pages under Windows.
27-14, the Panthers get the lead. 6:29 left in the fourth quarter.
Well, as explosive as we can be, we're definitely not out of this. There's still a lot of time. 6:29. We still, I keep thinking we're going to come close to breaking, and if they're going to kick it deep, which they are.
And it's out to Chris Jarvis, fields it at the 5, and then he takes it to the 10-yard line, tries one side, tries a juke tackler, does one, and then down at the 18-yard line. You could just see Chris trying to make something happen.
Well, the kick was, he has that wind behind him, and Chris fielded that on about the 8-yard line, and good coverage. He tried to come up the right side, but Mount Pleasant had excellent coverage, and as he tried to come up the right side, then he tried to break it back into the middle, but he ran into the defense of coverage of Mount Pleasant and was only able to get it back to the 18-yard line.
Left hash mark, 1st and 10 Demons, and it's Adam Miller pitching it out to Kelly Williams. Got bumped by his own blocker. To the 20 goes Williams and puts his head down, bowls over Brammer at the 25. Actually, he ran into Adam Miller, who was trying to set a block over there to the right side. He was going to be about 4 yards short of a first down.
Well, the sweep to the right with Kelly. coming out of his left wing back spot, and was able to get around the corner and picked up 7 yards, 6 yards.
Looks like Jared Longbine is in at center. Steve Stewart is out of the football game for the moment. And it's second down. And here's a pitch on going to Chris Jarvis, left side. Tries to sweep it around the left side. Stiff arms one man, and he breaks a tackle. And he gets shoved out of bounds, and a big hit over there on the sidelines at the 26-yard line.
Well, I don't know if he picked up any yards, did he? It looked
Maybe
like,
a yard, if that.
Again, what the problem here is we're not able to get around the corner. They're stringing it out, and there's really no running room if you can't get around the corner. And they've really, like I said, Mount Pleasant is really slanting to the side of, as soon as they see the action, they're really slanting hard. Seem to be guessing if we can catch him in the slant with that inside handoff.
Here's the ball. It's fumbled, and it's loose and behind the line of scrimmage at the 16-yard line. Oh, the Demons needed a big play on 3rd down and 4, and they had another bad exchange. Ball's just been on the ground too much tonight.
Well, that pretty much really is going to take the air out of our sails, I'm afraid.
How many fumbles have we had? About 5 total, 2 lost?
Well, that you lose in a situation like that where you can't afford to give up the ball.
Now we have a timeout taken here. Let's see.
I think it's the official's timeout.
Well, yeah, he did. He was just talking to some of the Mount Pleasant Panthers.
I'm surprised Mount Pleasant secondary here, these deep backs are back so far.
Adam Miller stands at his own 5-yard line. The Demons down by 2 scores with 4:56 in the 4th. Snap comes out to Adam Miller. He looks to kick, and that one is going to be blocked. It's going sideways to the 15. Miller picks it up, tries to run with it. I don't think he can really get much off of that one, and he's going to be stopped at the 20-yard line. The Panthers came in from the corners, and away he went. Oh, boy, things definitely not going to the Demons' favor here in this 4th quarter.
It pours, doesn't it? Well, that just, that'd be a breakdown. It looked like he came right up the middle somewhere and was able, it was a low snap, but looked like Adam had plenty of time. As far that wasn't the problem. It's just that somewhere he seeped through and there was no blocker there. We were concerned about the outside coming, and somehow he slipped right through the middle.
Panthers got it at the 20-yard line. Flags come out.
That's a procedure by Mount Pleasant. They're going to move back, but
Mike
you
Messer,
can't
the
afford
tackle,
to give them the ball on the 20-yard line.
And that is what happened. The Demons, they just need a big play. 4:45. The clock now becoming a factor. Out of the I formation, the 25-yard line is where the Panthers will have it. 1st and 15. Brammer looking to pass. A great fake. Launches it to the left side. Carter's got it. 20-yard line. He's going to be wrapped up over on the left side. And coming out to defend this one would be Kelly Williams. A pickup of 5 yards with 4:32 and clock continuing to run.
I think Bremer went down. He took a shot after he threw that ball.
Well, he certainly had an excellent fake. Just kind of was very leisurely, and the Demons...
Might be the wind. Because
following the game, we got scores and highlights of games statewide. That comes your way at 10 o'clock or following Demon football.
Yeah,
27-14, 4:28 left in the 4th.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him. He's going to have to come out for one play.
And I think the backup quarterback is Bob McClure, I believe. We'll wait and see who that's going to be.
Well, I'll guarantee you one thing. They're not going to throw it on this end.
Oh, for one, they really have no need to. And number 2, with a new quarterback coming in, and plus you're at the 20-yard line. That's Brad Salmons actually coming out, I should say. 5'10", 185-pound junior. More than likely, he'll be your starting quarterback next year. And he'll get under center here. 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Out of the I formation, and they'll give it to Todd Miller. Miller will go left to tackle, and he's going to find a hole to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone for a touchdown. The Panthers score again with 4:02 left.
That was just a straight handoff to the left side. Miller was able to find the seam and virtually untouched.
As you said a few moments ago, when it rains, it pours.
Well, I really thought, I didn't think anybody could shut us out in a half. I really didn't.
Here's Mertens to try the extra point. Spot is down, kick is up, and it's on the way, and it is going to be through the uprights and good. 34-14 is your score, and we're back in 30 seconds with the Panthers got the lead. This is Demon Football on KCII.
Teamwork is the main ingredient of high school football success, and the same can be said about the teamwork of Westchester Savings Bank. Auto, real estate, personal loans, checking, savings, and IRA accounts show how Westchester Savings Bank can score big for you. As a long-sustained scoring drive pays dividends in the end zone, so it goes with the team of Westchester Savings Bank. They'll score big points for you. Check them out, the Westchester Savings Bank in Washington. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Steph Mickelson's our in-studio producer. Ryan Schlatter and Chuck Henry back here at Case Field, and the Panthers on their way to district championship here as they win tonight. They are crowned district champions, of course. They've already earned a playoff spot. Washington now, if they lose tonight, will be assured of a playoff victory against Keokuk, but the tie-breaking thing starts to become a factor here, especially when you're down 34-14. Havens needs some points.
Yes, we do.
Mertens kicks this one high, end over end, fielded by Chris Jarvis at the 5. Hesitates, and then up the middle he goes to the 15, to the 20, looking for a block, cuts back, and he breaks a tackle to the 30, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Boy, he really juked Matt Malloy over there, and Malloy is kind of slow to get up there, and the Demons will have pretty good field position. Once again, the Demons come so close to breaking it, but not enough.
Well, the trouble is we have to throw the ball. We can't really rely on. That's the trouble when you rely so much on the ground game. And when you're behind like this, you're going to have to open up a little more.
Demons in that double wing formation, 1st and 10 on 38-yard line. Up the middle, Andy 6. He'll get swallowed up, no gain. Andy not getting any yards here in this half. You can just see the Demons don't have the kind of intensity that they had early on.
Well, momentum has definitely been taken away from us, and you know, when you give up 2 quick touchdowns, they went up 21-14 and 20-14, then 2 quick touchdowns back to back. Wow, that really hurt.
2nd and 9, and here we're going to go an inside handoff here, and up the middle. Adam Miller actually is going to hang on to the football, moves it out to the 44-yard line, as he will get a gain of 4 yards. Clock moving, 3:12 left now.
Well, like I said, I still think we're going to definitely see a rematch, and I think we'll end up being right back here with them in the 2nd round.
3rd and 4, 44-yard line out of the double wing, and it's Chris Jarvis getting the handoff. He's going to be pulled from behind at the 37-yard line. All kinds of Panthers were in the backfield once the initial hit was made, but it seemed like there's quite a number of Panthers that were back there.
Well, the initial was, I think it was 53, just...
Marty Mertens,
yeah,
he's a big man.
He just blew right through. I think he's at the right tackle position or at the right end there. He's at the right tackle position in that 50, and he just blew right through there and hit Chris in 5 yards deep.
Adam Miller in a punt formation here, 4th and 11 from their own 36-yard line. Miller gets it. He is going to kick this one, a short kick, fielded by Miller. He's going to try the right. Then he jukes. Then he goes to the right side, turns the corner, and runs out of bounds at the 48-yard line. A little extracurricular activity over there with Chris Jarvis and Chad Scarf kind of getting tangled up over there by midfield, but you can just tell the Demons are pretty frustrated right now. Down 34-14 with under 2 minutes.
They've worked so hard and planned, spent so much time preparing, and then just a couple miscues. And I mean, the score is not indicative. Both these teams, there's not that big a difference between the caliber of play between the two. You get a break here, a break there, and you take advantage, and that's what Mount Pleasant did. So, you know, we have to give them credit. They really performed well. I don't think they've had any mistakes as far as lost fumbles.
From the 48, Ramp still in at quarterback, and now they're going to go to the left side. All kinds of running room over there for the backup halfback across the 40 and then to the 38-yard line. Chris Brown is into the ball game now, and he got the handoff that time as Don Miller is now out of the game, and also checking in will be Armin McCormick. Is now Mount Pleasant keeping most of their starters out of the football game as they got this one in hand, and the Panthers about ready to go to 8-0 in the year.
Well, there's only a minute 40 left, and they're just going to run the clock out. They're not going to do anything fancy. They're just probably hand off to the deep back, the I back, and let him try to pick a hole and protect the ball and not fumble.
1st and 10, 36-yard line in Demon territory. Rammer looking to the tailback. That'll be Murph again, and he's going to be stopped 33-yard line. Demons make the tackle there, and only time for a couple more plays here. Look like Alex Nurr making a tackle. Jake Hotchkiss helping out. 2nd and 11, 37 seconds left.
Yeah, we're under a minute now. And quite a disappointing evening for the Demons as far as the outcome of this game. But again, they'll have the opportunity. I honestly believe we're going to have the opportunity to play them again.
Once again, out of the right side. The handoff goes out. Chris Brown won't get anything there. Stop from behind the line of scrimmage, and maybe time for one more play.
Well, they're going to have to run one more if they don't want a penalty.
From the 38-yard line. 14 seconds. Yeah, they're not going to do anything here. Brammer awaits the snap. The team gets set. Hikes it and just kneels on it. Mount Pleasant definitely earned themselves a victory tonight. They played a fantastic football game, no question about it.
Well, they just didn't make any mistakes. That was the key. They didn't have any turnovers. They had a couple penalties, but anytime there was any kind of a break, they took advantage of it. So,
and the Mount Pleasant fans come out and storm the 50-yard line. Demons might remember that. But a big victory this time for Mount Pleasant, no question. This was a big game for them, a big game here in the state of Iowa, but this one will go in favor of the Mount Pleasant Panthers. Played themselves an outstanding football game. Washington just made too many mistakes, and Mount Pleasant would take control in the second half, and your final score would be 34-14 in favor of the Mount Pleasant Panthers. District champions, number 5. They're already guaranteed a playoff spot. Now the Demons certainly would like to win to assure themselves a spot in the playoffs, although a loss would not totally eliminate them, but things would definitely be in their favor if they would win against Keokuk. On paper, it looks like the Demons would do that, but Washington's going to slip now to 7-1 and 5-1 now. Mount Pleasant improves to 8-0 and 6-0 in the district with one game, and that's Fort Madison. Of course, Mount Pleasant, we don't have to worry about them losing against Fort Madison. We'll make that prediction here, but we will give a little summary here of tonight's football game and maybe have some stats for you as well. The freshman team from Washington won earlier tonight 13-6, but the Mount Pleasant varsity team would knock off the Washington Demons. The final score 34-14. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Demon Football on KCII.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. The perfect birthday is hard to plan, so take the hassle out of planning one by calling Hoodwink's Melody Lanes in Washington. You won't even have to clean up afterwards. All you have to do is call Hoodwinks for a reservation. It's that easy. For $5.50 a child, they get an hour of bowling and drink plus pizza or chicken strips, and the birthday person gets a free shirt. If you don't have the time to plan and don't want all the mess of a birthday party, call Hoodwinks Melody Lanes in Washington. They take the hassle out for you.
And welcome back to Washington. Ryan Schlitter, Chuck Henry here following the Mount Pleasant 34-14 victory over the Washington Demons. Let's give you a summary of the scoring here tonight. Washington struck first with 2:49 left in the first. Andy Six capped off a 67-yard drive. The kick failed, but it was 6-0 in favor of the Demons. And then it was Todd Miller with a 30-yard run following a fumble by the Demons, and the Panthers would only have to travel 40 yards with 11:27 left in the second. 7-6 would be the score after their kick was good. But the Demons came back the other way with 8:14 left in the second. A 5-yard run for Chris Jarvis. Andy Six caught a pass from Adam Miller, making it 14-7. And then Todd Miller had a 3-yard run with 6:13 left in the second, and that tied it up at 14-14. That would be your halftime score. With a 1-yard run for Brad Sammons, the kick was good with 4:58 left in the third with 21-14. Then a 37-yard run for Todd Miller with 6:29 left in the fourth quarter, made it 27-14. And then Miller again, a 20-yard run, 34-14 would be the score after that to run in the end zone with 4:02 left in the fourth. And well, Chuck, we were pretty optimistic there at halftime that it could go either way, but Mount Pleasant just essentially kind of took control, stopped the Demons' offense there. Certainly probably a total reverse as far as offensive production here for the Washington Demons in the second half of what we witnessed.
They made some tremendous defensive adjustments. They took our outside running game away. They took the inside trap away from us as well, and we weren't, plus couple miscues there as far as stuttering a little bit on key third down situations, and you know, very, very disappointing. But yet, it may not turn out all that bad in the long run, because this will definitely give us a lot of incentive. We know we can play with Mount Pleasant. A break here, a break there, and you know, a lot of things can happen. I do think we need to pay tribute, though, to a well-coached effort by Bob Jensen and his staff. They basically played flawless football. They did not make any mistakes. We made the mistakes, and we said the decision that is going to come down to is who makes the fewest mistakes. And they didn't make any, and we made a couple, and it came out to be very costly. But I really think we're going to see these two teams 2 weeks from Monday
again, and most people are, as a good possibility. Going over the stats here, Chuck, the Demons had 300 yards of total offense, only 22 yards of offense here in the second half. And essentially, they had 55 carries for 280 yards. Andy Six, 15 carries for 77 yards. Chris Jarvis, 21 for 132. Kelly Williams, 14 carries for 54 yards. Adam Miller, 5 for 17. For Mount Pleasant, they had 282 yards of total offense, including 7 of 17 from the pass for 96, and 33 for 186 of rushing. And it was Todd Miller, 24 carries, 178 yards. Once again, pretty much all of the Panthers, 24 out of the 33 offensive carries. So as you said, only 22 yards of offense. You're not going to win a district championship if you can only generate 22 yards of offense.
Well, that, like I said, the adjustments they made, and we'll remember this. I think it isn't the end of the world. That's by any stretch of the imagination. We'll bounce back next week. We'll play Keokuk here, and then see who we open up with. We'll probably have to travel as a first-round opponent, but I really think Mount Pleasant and Washington are the two best teams in southeast Iowa, and I think both teams will get by their first round. And if that happens, and they play the first round at home, we play the first round away, we both win, then we're right back here on Monday, November, what would that be? November 8th, I believe.
Don't got the calendar here in front of me, but still we got a 1 week. Anything could happen, but we both feel confident that the Demons could win that football game, should win that football game. We'll just see how the Demons all come out. As we said, Jimmy Fulcher got injured there the first play of the game, actually on a kick, and he has certainly played some good spots there defensively and coming in and out for the Demons, and on special teams as well. We'll find out if he hurt his knee really bad or what happened, but essentially that second half pretty much doomed the Demons. They got shut out in the second half while the Panthers ended up racking up the points, 20 second half points. That'd be the difference. And as we kind of pay tribute here, the You have to really credit the Washington Athletic Department here for really getting things ready here for a big turnout here. All kinds of Washington fans, Mount Pleasant fans as well. And from what I can tell from up here, it looked like a pretty good sportsmanship, too, for both squads. I mean, we didn't see any flags come out because of that, and that really pays tribute to the kids on the both teams.
Two well-coached football teams, two classy programs, and a well-played, particularly first half of football. And Mount Pleasant took control in the second half, and they deserved the win. You know, we're not going to make any alibis. They deserved the ball game. They outplayed us. But, like, I think it's not the end of the world, and we will have a chance. I really firmly believe, I hope we have the chance to redeem ourselves.
So Washington, unfortunately, going to take the loss here. Washington Demons will fall to 7-1 and 5-1. And, Chuck, I guess we just wait until next week at Keokuk. Stranger things and... well, strange things have happened down in Keokuk, but this time the Demons get to host one. It's good to be back home for the second week in a row.
It's a lot different just walking over here a block and a half than it is driving 65, 70 miles. So
that's right.
Looking forward to being with you next Friday night right back here at Case Field.
And hopefully the season won't end for the Demons following it next week as well. So special thanks going to Chuck Henry for joining us right up here in the press box at Case Field. So once again, credit the Mount Pleasant Panthers for an outstanding performance tonight as Mount Pleasant improves to 8-0 and 6-0 in district play. The district champions for number 5. They are on the road at Fort Madison next week, and Washington drops to 7-1 and 5-1. They take on Keokuk at home, and as always, we will have the broadcast at 7 o'clock next week. Special thanks to Steph Mickelson, our in-studio producer, and for Chuck Henry, I'm Ryan Schlater with Mount Pleasant defeating Washington by the score of 34-14, and good night from Case Field in Washington.